Good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from the Rustic log cabin in Northern Maine. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Well, 2 days ago we made donuts. Probably by now you've seen that video. So I'm going to make some bread now. There's no bread in the cabin, so it's time to get caught up on that. Make some bread. I don't bring up a whole lot of stuff with me. All the ingredients are always here in the cabin. And if you've got that cabin dream, these are some real easy camp recipes. The last video I did was on making donuts. It's a very simple cake donut. I've been making them here in Maine since the beginning of time, I guess. Well, this right here is a bread recipe. It came from my friend up in Canada. His name is Paul, and this is a Canadian recipe. They call it bannock. I just call it camp bread. It's just something that, since I learned from Paul how to make it, it's a camp staple here. So what I do is I make up a big batch. That's what this is. I keep it dry until I need it. And what it takes is, there's only 4 ingredients. So I'll put 3 cups of flour in this bowl. And that's enough for 2 of my pan-size loaves of bread. And what I use is a 8-inch cast iron frying pan that gets, I cook it on top of the wood stove, or I cook it on top of the campfire. And I've got videos out there of that. So anyways, what I'll do is I'll make it up in here. I will put it in here, and then I'll take out half the amount and make a loaf of bread today. And then my mixture is all made up for if I want another loaf in a couple of days. Mix is all made up. I just got to mix it up and put it on top of the wood stove. So you need 3 cups of flour if you want to do the full batch. And then you need 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Again, I keep this stuff well stocked here at the cabin. It doesn't go bad. I don't know if this one's got a date on it or not, but it don't go bad. So you need 2 tablespoons of that. You need half a tablespoon of salt, or a little more, won't hurt it. You know, it's all kind of up to taste there when it comes to salt. So I'm going to put in my salt. And then we need 2 tablespoons of sugar. And that's it. That is the 4 ingredients for that. I don't know if you noticed my containers. These are creamer, dry creamer comes in these. They make excellent storage up here at the cabin. I like them. They're square, big tops, and they fit in. They fit in the. I need a spoon. All right, I got my spoon. I also got the pan. Now this is an 8-inch cast iron, typical pan, nothing fancy. You do want a cover. This is just a cover from a lawn sale, but it does work. Now you want the pan very well greased. This right here is greased with my breakfast this morning. So what that is I had hot sausage and eggs for breakfast, and that pan is greased with the hot sausage grease. So maybe the bread will taste a little bit like sausage this morning, who knows. But anyways, that's what I greased it with. And I'm going to tell you, when it comes to adding water, now I've made a lot of these loaves of bread. Each one sometimes seems a little different, but what I have learned is that if my mixture is a little bit on the wet side, what happens in bread and water is the water expands while it's in the bread. So if the dough is a little bit on the wet side, the water boils expands and it creates air pockets inside of my bread, little ones. So it makes the bread a little bit more fluffy. And I really like it that way. So what I do is I get the dough to where I think it's really good. And then from there, I add a little bit more water just before I'm putting it in the, before I put it in the pan. Decided I really want to get this mixed up good. Because I'm only going to take half of the mixture, which is really easy to measure. It'd be a cup and a half. Because remember, there's only 3 cups of flour in here, and that'll make 2 of these breads. I will put that on the wood stove, and I will cook it very slow. You cook it too fast, I mean, even slow doesn't take long. But you cook it until it is golden brown. So that's it. I already got a bag over here marked out. This will go on the shelf as already pre-mixed and ready to go for my next loaf of bread. If I was headed out to the hunt shack, then my mixture would just be thrown, not the hunt shack, the lean-to, for a day out there, which I like going out there in March. Come on. I don't think this is a really good way to do this. Usually I just mix it up in the bag. I don't play with bowls at all. But I did this morning because of you guys. Trying to give you so you can see what I'm doing. There. And when you're out at like the lean-to or you're out at a campfire, then you add your water right to the bag itself. Like I would have in this bag, in this bag would be enough for 2 loaves of bread. I mean, 1 loaf of bread. So you add your little bit of water to it, and then you've got your you add your water to it, and then you've got your loaf. You just put it in your pan. So but right now, I'm going to put it back in here. For today's loaf, I'm going to put a cup and a half. There's no set time or anything after mixing it. Just get it mixed together. Get it mixed together and get it on the wood stove. And that's all there is to it. Well, this might be a good time for a sip of coffee. I have a small fire going over there right now, so it might take 20 minutes to cook this. Like I said, and same thing on a campfire. You want it way away from the heat, just enough that it is cooking. You don't want to. And if you get this a little too wet, reach in your bag or reach into. When I'm out at in my my cooking stuff I take with me for a hike, then I will have just a little bit of flour in another bag so you can add to this mixture if you do get it a little bit too wet at this point. But just add in enough water until you reach the consistency that you're looking for. Now it might take you a couple of loaves to get what you're looking for, but this stuff, man, at a campfire, throw some hot butter on there, still need some more. This stuff here, you add some butter on there and some hot jelly. I mean some jelly on top of this. Oh my goodness. There. I don't know if you can see that, but that all sticks together pretty good. That all sticks together pretty good. So I'm going to add, at this point, just a little bit more without going over, because I want it moist. That's it. See what I got? That's it. Nothing fancy, but it is ready to go. Don't overwork it. What I mean by that is just get it mixed up and get it in your pan. I will spread it out so that, because it'll swell and it'll swell and it'll fill this pan. So what I try to do is make it round. Not for a couple of reasons. One is it makes the loaf look a little bit better. And that's it. Ready for the wood stove. So, I will show you this when she's on the wood stove cooking a little bit. When we flip it over, halfway through the cook, you need to flip the whole loaf over on itself and then finish cooking off the top, and you will have a great loaf of bread for the cabin. Hot bread, hot bread. Hard butter. And there you go, camp bread.